I like you the most. This is trollers everywhere. Writing about government, corruption, call them out, speak the truth. We're all one family on this planet, just born by different mothers. It's obvious. I don't see how we don't all see that and treat each other as brothers and sisters. When I play it live, people are crying in the audience. I struggle myself to keep my tears in. That's on God. I mean, my wife knows for how many years I would jump between producer to producer. My name is Shine, the guy behind the newly released alternative rock album called Antidote to Apathy, and in this video I'm going to be responding to some of your questions. Thank you so much everyone for even caring and taking the time to submit questions. What's the story behind the name Shine? And the story is simply this. My mom gave birth to me, looked at my dad, Shine. My dad said yes, they agreed, and Shine became my name. A specific artist name, other than my actual name. We spoke with a couple different friends, some friends overseas in the US, and we're like, what do you think of Shine? And they were like, you know what, Shine is kind of unique. What's my deeper motivation for creating music? So I'm 7 years old. I'm sitting in the dentist's office, and I see this magazine. I open the magazine, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo talking about his beliefs and his mindset and what he thinks is important, his values. And I remember in that moment, seeing myself in third person reading this magazine and thinking, if I become a professional soccer player, other kids will read magazines like this where I can share about what values I think are important. That inspires a 14-year-long attempt at pursuing a professional soccer career. I become pretty good, but not close enough to good enough to becoming a professional soccer player. So after returning back from the United States, where I went to college and also played at a college soccer team where my hope was to sign with an MLS team after my college career, car with my friends, and we played this game. We're like, yo, whoever writes the best bars to this instrumental beat by the time we arrive to where we're going wins. So for fun, we start writing, and in that moment I realized, wow, I was going such a long path, becoming a professional soccer player so that one day I could be interviewed for a magazine and dare share about my wish for unity on earth, oneness of mankind, individual responsibility and empowerment for working towards the betterment of humanity, betterment of mankind. I realized that I can just write it down, put some music to it, and people will have it straight on their ears. Like, I can speak about love, unity, empowerment, individual responsibility, make it sound awesome, like make the experience enjoyable, hopefully, like that is the goal, right, with the song. I truly believe that while I'm on this earth, my purpose is to share a hopeful, empowering message of love and unity, because honestly, to me, it's obvious that we're all one family on this planet, just born by different mothers. It's obvious. I don't see how we don't all see that and treat each other as brothers and sisters. I don't see why, but, well, there's many reasons why. Anyway, we're not going to go into I'm getting ahead of I'm so passionate about this thing about creating unity on earth, and it's not about creating unity on earth. It begins locally. I think. So creating unity on earth, what does that mean for me? Creating unity in my community, with the people I meet in my world, colleagues, friends, neighbors. And what keeps you going when the journey gets tough? Well, there's several things. The awareness about the fragility of my life, knowing that any moment could be my last moment. That is one thing. Secondly, my belief in my purpose for existing. I truly believe that I am here for a reason. So when the journey gets tough, I try to remind myself of, why am I even here? And let that motivate me to keep going, combined with, because I don't know how much longer I have left on this planet, in this existence. And finally, and this might be the root of it all, because yes, it's beautiful with beautiful morals and beautiful values and beautiful beliefs, but my parents' struggles is truly what, if nothing else, will keep me going when the journey gets tough. Because only God knows the struggles they went through in Iran, in the United Arab Emirates, to bring me and my siblings, that we weren't born yet, but to allow us an upbringing in a country with opportunity, with freedom of expression. Here there are different struggles. Struggles that everyone have with the economy, with costs, with many things. And every time I think about how my father is probably out driving a taxi right now, let's say it really helps me feel less sorry for myself, or feel less, oh, I'm so tired today, I don't feel like it, and just, yo, do you have time to rest? Do you have time to rest while your father is still out working, while your mom is still out working? Do you really have time to rest, Shine? Let's keep going, brother. Out of all your songs, is there one that stands out as especially meaningful or sentimental to you? Yes, there is. Sky is Burning is especially meaningful to me, extremely sentimental. When I play it live, people are crying in the audience. I struggle myself to keep my tears in. It's just such a strong emotional song. I think at least. What type of music do you enjoy? Now, I don't have a type. It's about personality. Okay, I thought that was going to be super funny, but now that I said it, I'm like, wow, that was so stupid. But no, honestly, I listen to almost anything. As long as I'm not disgusted by the lyrics, because I have this thing where I believe that one should be able to turn off the instrumental, sing a cappella, and you shouldn't be ashamed of what you're saying out loud now that you can't hide behind the beat, if that makes sense. Now, more specifically, I listen to all types of music based on mood and setting. Country, when I'm driving, not always, but if we're going on a road trip, country music. Everything Beyonce, because Beyonce is 24/7 in my home because of my wife. She's super Beehive, like super fan, and I've just become a huge fan because I've heard so much Beyonce, and honestly, Beyonce is so unique. Like, how do we exist the same time? That's crazy. What were some of the biggest challenges when you try to make songs? Well, first of all, I haven't learned yet how to produce music myself, meaning using Logic, Ableton, or FL Studio. So the biggest challenge was finding a producer, but not just finding a producer, but someone who's willing to put in as much time, invest as much time and effort as I want to. Because if I could choose, I would be in the music studio almost all the time. And that's on God. I mean, my wife knows for how many years I would jump between producer to producer, because he had some time in his calendar that day, and he had some time in his calendar that day. And then it would go 3 or 4 months until I had time with another producer. And finally, everything aligned, and the producer, Espen Andreas Fjell is his name, who's produced all the songs on my recently released album, said, let's get down to work. Now his calendar is free to focus on one artist only, and he chose to focus on me, thankfully. But that was my biggest challenge when trying to make songs, because I can write the song and I can perform the song, like sing it into the microphone or rap it into the microphone, but I need help from there for now. What do you like most about Sonus Vos? You. I like you the most. Now, with you, it means the community that this platform has cultivated. It's so positive, it's so supportive, it's so loving, and it's true music lovers in here. Like, I will post a video with one of my songs on TikTok, and I will have my family, some fans supportive, and then I will have at least 4 or 5 comments, and fire on mute, and this is trollers everywhere, and they're everywhere. They're on X, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, I said, not that many on YouTube, but you come to Sonus Vos, proud of the song you've created, the art you've created, put your heart and soul into, and you actually get some real, honest, loving feedback. Like, even if it's not your favorite song, the feedback you receive is still kind, like it's kindly delivered. The feedback is always kindly delivered. And another thing I really like is that it seems to have a great team of people behind it. The people working on Sonus Vos, it seems like they're truly trying to put the music and the artistry first, not like many of the other music platforms. Do you have any pre-show or pre-recording rituals? I pray because it truly, because I truly believe that prayers is nourishment for the soul, but also because it helps me let go of the control. Let go of the control of the thing I cannot control anyway. So why am I trying to control it? With that, I mean, before a job interview, I used to look in the mirror, talk with myself, say my prayer, and then in my prayer, I would say, now I will go out there and do my best. What happens from there is not in my hands. So if you, almighty creator of existence, if you see that me getting this job is good for me, good for my family, good for the community, good for my impact on the world, let me have it. And if you don't, well, obviously don't let me have it. And it's the same thing when I go out on stage. Before going out on stage, I will give it my all, my very best, the best I can do in this moment in time. Every time might be different, right? But in this exact moment, I'm going to go out there and give it my very best. What happens from there is not in my hands. May you guide me. And that's it. It truly helps me. How did you decide on Antidote to Apathy as your album title? And what is the antidote for you? I'm writing about government, corruption, call them out, speak the truth, stop lying to the people, we're trusting you with our vote, etc., etc. Okay. And then I said, okay, well, that's not enough. I don't want to leave the audience with, hey, call them out, be rebellious. Like that's not the point. So okay, first phase, we'll call that truth. Reveal the truth. Just be honest. Let us, the people, know the truth about things. And that's extremely difficult because even history, even everything we've been taught in school, who knows all the biases and from what perspective we're learning history, while in another country they might be learning something totally. Anyway, I'm not going to go deeper into that. Phase 2 of the album is more about love. I bring in more about personal relationships. I trusted you dearly. Lockdown, a hard phase. I bring love as a theme into the album. The third phase is about self-respect and self-empowerment, about confidence in yourself. Don't take advantage of it. Blah, 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 blah. This is me taking power back. And then the fourth phase of the album with All Me to God and I Don't Get as two examples of, there are more songs in that phase, but for example, in I Don't Get, I say, na, 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 na. The work I gotta plant the seeds. Yeah, the work I gotta plant the seeds of love, harmony, and unity. And the reason I Don't Get is the final song of the album before we release the full album, like in the album waterfall release strategy, is because that's what I want to leave the audience with. The work I gotta plant the seeds of love, harmony, and unity. Cause we have put the people with the most evil desires in positions of power. And it's about, it's not, don't rely on them. When have they ever brought about peace, love, unity? When? And it's not up to them. It's up to us. It's up to us, the people. I mean, I live in a community with a lot of neighbors. Who am I waiting for? I'm waiting for me. It's up to me to create that unity and love if I want. Anyway, so those are the 4 different phases of the album, and that is what I mean is the antidote to apathy. Meaning truth. We can't, unless we know the truth, how can we even act in this world, right? We need to know, what are we dealing with? Truthfully, what are we dealing with? Okay. 2, love. I believe love is a huge component in not getting stuck in apathy, whether you do something out of love for someone or you just feel loved. The third one, you need confidence, empowerment, like believe in yourself. Don't let the apathy of the world crunch you down and try to. I'm so passionate about these. Trusting in the bigger power, trusting in that, focusing on what I can control and trying to sow the seeds of love, harmony, and unity. That is not the full antidote, but in the context of this album, what I try to portray as the antidote to apathy. I love your cover art on your songs. Could you talk about the inspiration behind some of them? Absolutely, Ross. Hard face. Okay, hard face. I'll tell you how we even made the cover arts. So what I would do is I would go over to Kjartan. Kjartan Kielberg Øvreås is the person who's made all the cover arts and canvases for my album. Or the one who's actually shot them. Now we make them together, but he actually shoots, does the editing. We go to his photo studio. And what we do first is we put on the song and we just listen. We just listen, we feel, we let inspiration come to us. Then Kjartan would usually pull up Pinterest, start looking for some inspirational pictures that made sense with what he was thinking, but not quite this, because obviously we haven't made the final product yet, but just inspiration. And then we would share our ideas. I would do the same as him. What thoughts and ideas do I have? Do I have any inspiration? And then we just agree on the final concept. So for example, hard face. Don't mind me. I'm with you through the hard face. What is the cover art? Me with melted candles and candles with lights on that are lit on my body. Meaning, don't mind me. I am with you through the hard face. Not just with you. I will burn with you. Makes sense? That's why the candles. It's real. The candles are real. Anyway, that's hard face. I trusted you dearly. Love that cover art as well, where my wife's hands are around me. It just makes so much sense with the theme of the song. What else? This is a dream, where we make it seem as if I'm falling in a dream, because it makes sense with the theme of the song. Inspiration behind the cover art is the song itself. Did that make sense? I hope so. Thank you so much for staying all the way to the end of this video. I appreciate you big time, Sonus fam. Big time. Truly, I will feel... emotions will go like this, right? And I know if I'm ever in the downward spiral, log into Sonus Vos, see what so many amazing people are writing to you, so much love you're getting there, and just let your heart be filled with joy, energy, and go back out there again. Appreciate you big time. Shine.
Try to be kind, but we've had enough about change, but I see no change now, except for the changing. Not until the sky is burning, but I am not asking for much. I just want you to be feeling I just want you to be feeling my flow. I am just asking for love till you've drained out your soul. 'Cause it was scary, facing the reality I carry. Falling to pieces, darling, you're too good for. Both of us know what I will say. Oh, darling, you're too